Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to beautiful Rockaway Beach. 9.5 months ago, the spot where we are staying now was a scene of heart-wrenching devastation. I remember walking it, and it was just so sad to see something that was so beautiful, so torn apart. But in spite of the damage here and damage like it around our shoreline, all along our shoreline, we promised that we would have all city beaches open by Memorial Day. And thanks to the incredible work by the Parks Department, the Department of Design and Construction, and other city agencies, that is exactly what happened. The city has invested $270 million to open our beaches safely for summer, and that includes great work by DDC and Commissioner David Burney, who is with us. There we are. To build boardwalk islands like the one we're standing on to ensure safe access and services along the Rockaways. But as we all know, New York's beaches are much more than places for fun in the sun. They're also a crucial defense against flooding and coastal storms, and now we're working hard to strengthen those defenses, including here with Phase 2 of our restoration work in Rockaway Beach. As you can see, some of the work taking place behind us now, where our partners at the Army Corps of Engineers under the leadership of Colonel Paul Owens, you'll recognize him in the military uniform, have begun an all-out sand replacement effort in the Rockaways. And in the next couple of months, the Army Corps will bring about 3.5 million cubic yards of sand to Rockaway Beach. If you look way down there, you can see the dredge out in the water. That's dredging up sand, and it gets piped all the way to here, just to show you the magnitude of the work being done. The first phase is about 600,000 cubic yards of sand, and that is being pumped now from Beach 89th to Beach 149th Street. The Army Corps of Engineers will then bring approximately 3 million cubic yards of sand up and down the peninsula from Beach 19 to Beach 149. Replacing sand is just one step in our efforts to strengthen our coastline, including here in the Rockaways. We're also installing sand-filled trap bags on sections of the beach from Beach 86 to Beach 126 streets. And now some of this new sand we're pumping in will form a new dune using those bags as a core. We've also installed a series of protective walls from Beach 126 to Beach 149th Street, and together these measures will not only reverse damage to the beach done by Sandy, they will make the beach stronger than it was before the storm. And that means that communities here on the peninsula will be better protected from future storms and flooding. And along with the Army Corps, will soon bring sand replenishment to parts of Coney Island hit hard by the sand as well. Now, this replenishment work is being paid for with federal Sandy relief funds. So I want to again thank Senators Schumer and Gillibrand and our representatives in Congress who fought hard for that support. That funding will also be critical as we kick off Phase 2 of the restoration and rebuilding work we outlined in our comprehensive plan for building a stronger, more resilient New York. Through our resiliency team at long-term planning and sustainability, led by Dan Zarilli, and the city's EDC, we're also soliciting designs for boardwalks and other protective structures to bring to our coastline. The Army Corps of Engineers has been and will continue to be a huge part of our rebuilding work, and we're extremely grateful for all that they have done. And I also want to thank the New York State and Department of Environmental Conservation, which is working closely with the Army Corps on these beach restorations. And we have Venetia Landon, State Environmental Conservation Director. So welcome. We also thanks to DDC and the Public Design Commission for the great work in helping bring our beaches back. Colonel Paul Owens, as I said, is leading the Army Corps' work here in New York. Colonel, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. Well, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today and talk a little bit about the project that's going on in front of your eyes. So first of all, I'd just like to say thanks to all of our partners, and certainly wouldn't get this done unless it was a great partnership between the city, the state, and also the federal government to put this investment back into the community to protect and reduce the risks of future storms here in this area. So there are 3 different phases going on here in the Rockaways. We're on Phase 1. We just started work on this 600,000 cubic yard replenishment project that goes from Beach 89th Street down to Beach 149th Street, or excuse me, Beach 149th Street down to Beach 89th Street here. So we're working on that, and we're kind of working in 1,000-foot sections. And we're going to shut off part of the beach to do the replenishment, and then we're going to move on. Just a few days ago, we were at beach. On Monday, I think we were at Beach 101st Street, so we've already moved down to Beach 94th Street, so progress is moving well, and we've had some cooperative conditions to let us continue to do that. So that's 600,000 cubic yards. The next phase, which we just awarded last night to the same contractor who's going to be out here, is going to include about 3 million cubic yards worth of sand placement. So if you total that together, that's going to be more sand than I think Rockaway's has seen since about 1970 or so. So if you've been around that long and you can remember what the beaches look like in terms of the dimensions and the space and the level of risk that was reduced for storms, then you can put in your mind what it's going to look like when we get done. Our timeline is right now we're going to finish the entire project for this first phase by next June. So that's our current schedule. With some favorable weather and conditions, we may be able to finish a little earlier, and we'll certainly want to target Memorial Day for being done before the beaches open again. So we're hopeful we can get to that point. So Memorial Day next year, you'll see some incredible resilient features that provide both recreational benefits, but the primary purpose of our projects is to reduce the risk for future storms that are coming here. So the next phase after that is a longer-term study. It's called we're going to do a reformulation of the Rockaway Peninsula, and we're going to look at not only just the Atlantic Ocean side, but the Back Bay side. And we're going to incorporate some measures besides just sand into that project that's, again, going to provide a higher level of protection and be able to reduce the risk from future storms. That phase is going to be a little bit longer and more deliberate as we look for ways to implement some of newer technologies and some systems that can be placed in to achieve those purposes. The final part, it is certainly connected to the Rockaways, but Jamaica Bay is also a large effort of our studies, and as we go forward, we're going to see lots of efforts from the federal government in cooperation with the state and the city on those areas. And in total, it's on the order of $300 million or so dollars if you add those three projects together of the federal investment that's going to come for this. And so there's a lot to be done. And there's great work going on, and we have a lot more to do. So I do want to thank our partners once again and just say that working very closely with Dan Zarilli in the mayor's office, Venetia Langen, we worked very hard with her for the permitting requirements, and then also Veronica White here in the parks. We've developed a very good, strong relationship that has allowed us to move quick and forward with these projects. So I see Dan Fault he's our project manager for this project, and Dan is a resident of the Rockaway, so he is fully invested in making sure that this project sees it all the way through to completion quickly. So the mayor kind of described a little bit what was going on behind you. We do see some of the sand placement, and the dredge is way off in the distance. We're dredging the material for this first part out of the Rockaway Inlet, so it has kind of a dual benefit. We're able to clear the navigation channel that hasn't been cleared in a long time, so we're able to take the material out of the navigation channel, and it's good quality sand that we can place on the beach for the protective purposes from the storms. The second phase will use so that's for the first 600,000 yards. The second phase will use an offshore borrow area that's going to be located out there. So, and you'll see similar procedures happen as we bring the sand on the beach. So, once again, I just want to say thank you and look forward to providing this project to the community. And as you have comments or questions or concerns, we're going to be here and locally engaged with our project manager and myself as we go on with this project. So we look forward to your input and future involvement in the ongoing project. So thank you, Mayor.
Colonel, thank you, and our thanks go out to the entire Army Corps. Next up is our Parks Commissioner, Veronica White.
Thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. It's a great day, and it's a great day to be here out in the Rockaways. Mayor Bloomberg, First Deputy Mayor Patty Harris, and Nanette Smith at City Hall all gave us at the Parks Department and at the Department of Design and Construction all the resources we needed to get this beach open for the summer. $140 million for the Rockaways alone. They also gave us all the human resources and support in terms of great relationships and work, for example, Venetia Lannon at State DEC, with Dan Zarilli, and with all of the people that from around each and every city, state, and federal agency. We've done an awesome job, and I'm proud of it. And I'd like a round of applause for everyone out here that's been doing tremendous work, especially the Department of Design and Construction, the Parks Department, and the Army Corps of Engineers. Thank you. I started my job on August 30th last year, and I think Colonel Owen started 2 weeks later. Was it September 14th?
Yes, ma'am.
We've been kind of joined at the hip ever since. We were here for each of the recovery efforts. The Colonel working very closely with Kaz Holloway and also with Liam Kavanaugh, the first Deputy Commissioner, who's been out here about 5.5 days a week. I only make it out 3 days in a week. Liam, a big round of applause. Liam Kavanaugh, first Deputy Commissioner. I think you were original Sandman before we had the Colonel, but joined at the hip again, making sure we have all of this that's going on here. We're building not only a more resilient Rockaway, but a more beautiful Rockaway. And it's really been tremendous, and I am very, very thankful to the support of the elected officials standing with us today, as well as the Mayor's office and all the support from the federal, state, and city government. So thanks again to each and every one of you.
Veronica, thank you. City Council member Eric Ulrich is with us today. Eric?
They're clearly not going in alphabetical order this morning. Otherwise, my friend Senator Dabo would have been asked to speak first. But anyway, I just want to echo what the mayor mentioned before. We are really grateful for the support of the federal government, and I know that Senator Schumer has been out here on many occasions. He's not with us today, but I'd like to take this opportunity to thank him as well as the rest of the congressional delegation for fighting for that Sandy aid so that we can rebuild the boardwalk, so that we can pump sand on the beach. I know that they're also talking about long-term strategies like the jetties and the dunes and other projects that the city will be overseeing as that money comes in. But I'd also like to thank some of the local people, and I was speaking with our assemblyman earlier, Phil Goldfeder. I know John Corey and John Eddy and the Friends of Rockaway Beach have done a tremendous job advocating for this community, you know, long before the storm hit, and also, of course, after the storm hit, fighting for more sand and better protection for the people of the Rockaways. But we're happy to be standing here today. We're making remarkable progress. I don't think anyone can say that the city is not doing a good job working with the federal government or the state government when it comes to coordinating these contracts and actually getting people the help that they need. And we're doing everything that we can to rebuild the Rockaways better than ever. And I want to thank the mayor, of course, and his administration, the Parks Department, all the agencies that put this together, because it's a great day for the Rockaways. And next year, Mayor, you will not be here, maybe not because you're term limited. You can come, and he will be a grandfather then, so maybe you'll bring your grandchild. But absolutely. The point is that when we open the beach next year, Rockaway will be better than ever, and that is a day that I am truly looking forward to sharing with all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Eric, thank you. We're also joined by Assemblymember Philip Goldfeder. Philip?
Thank you, sir. You know, I've said this, and I find myself saying this a lot, but it's unfortunate that it took a natural disaster for so many people around the city, around the state, and around the country to wake up to the problems that we've been facing in Rockaway for so long. And as Eric just mentioned, you know, John Corey and Eddie Pastore and the Friends of Rockaway Beach, the Rockaway Beach Civic Association, the Rockaway Civic Association, the Bell Harbor and the Neponset Civic Association, homeowner associations. These are folks who have been in this community for years, for generations in many families, who have been fighting for beach restoration, for real protection for a long time. And it's about time that we finally have it. And that's why today's a great day, because we actually get to see on the beach the protections and the sand that we've been asking for so long. And of course, you know, all the agencies who have worked together and the congressional delegation did a great job in getting the money, making sure that it was here, but ensuring that it was spent and put in the right places. And of course, the state and Venetia Lannon at DEC for getting the processes going and making sure that we got everything done the way we needed to get it done. Of course, the Army Corps of Engineers. Dan, and I will echo the sentiment, Dan Fault has done a tremendous job. Most importantly, if nothing else, making sure that he's communicating with the community, that everybody is aware of what was going on, and that we were prepared for each step of the process and knowing what some of the hurdles have been. So, Dan, on behalf of the entire community, I just want to say thank you to you. And, you know, I think today is just another great step in Rockaway's recovery, but also hopefully the beginning of what will be a process that will involve the community, a process that will work hand in hand to ensure that the residents who have lived here for so long will continue to be a part of the process that makes Rockaway greater than ever. So thanks, everybody.
Philip, thank you. And last but certainly not least, State Senator Joseph Addabbo. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everybody. And let me add my voice to the sentiments of gratitude to all those who are involved with what we're doing here today, from city, state, and federal agencies working together. To me, personally, it's a perfect snapshot of how government should work. You know, we heard the voices of concern post-Sandy that we needed to take care and address the issues on the beaches. From our local community board, Jonathan Gasker, our district manager, to Danny Rosillo, Hank Iori, and Kevin Boyle, and all the local residents who spoke out to the elected officials on every level. And then we heard those concerns, and those concerns were addressed. That's a perfect snapshot of how government should work. So we have a lot to be grateful for today. Army Corps of Engineers, Parks Department, the total family of the Parks Department, you know, DEP, DEC, all the agencies involved. Thank you. Thank you for making this a perfect snapshot on how government should work. Thank you very much. Thanks, Sean.
And we have City Councilman Donovan Richards with us today as well. Nice round of applause for him. Let me summarize for our Spanish-speaking New Yorkers. Como parte de nuestros esfuerzos por restaurar nuestras playas después de Huracán Sandy, el Cuerpo de Ingenieros de Ejército van a traer 3.5 millones de pies cúbicos de arena a la playa de los Rockaways. Esto protegerá las comunidades cercanas de inundaciones. And that says that's exactly what I said in English. For those of you that wanted a translation. We'll be happy to take some questions on topic.
Councilman Richards wants to say a word
you want to say
first.
something?
Yeah,
Sure.
That's
all right. The East End is in the house. Well, thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. I certainly want to thank everyone who did such a wonderful job to make sure that we've reached where we've reached today. I mean, if you would have stood out here a few months ago, I mean, you would not have believed what we saw. So, you know, Hurricane Sandy was a blessing in disguise, obviously. I mean, although it brought all of this, you know, catastrophic activity to this end of the peninsula and to my end of the peninsula, it afforded us an opportunity to do something that we would have never thought that we would see today. So I want to thank Army Corps of Engineers. I want to thank the Parks Department. I want to thank the Colonel, who's doing such a great job. I just want to echo some neighbors that I met with in the 50s a few weeks ago. They were certainly concerned about protection for their homes, and they have every right to be. We have to make sure that although we are moving to make sure that sand is here, that we are moving it to the East End as fast as we can. We are in hurricane season, and I want to ensure that my neighbors are not left out as well. So although we are making significant progress here today, we still must make sure that we are moving as fast as we can to ensure that all of the Rockaway Peninsula is protected. With that being said, thank you, and I look forward to joining you on the East End soon. Thank you.
Good. Donovan, thank you. We'll be happy to take some questions.